When you have health insurance, it's easy to forget about your out-of-pocket costs. That can be a lot of money. But are your bills accurate? It's estimated over 50% of medical bills contain errors. HealthLock can help. HealthLock technology securely connects with your insurance and flags any overbilling, wrong codes, and fraud. You can even have HealthLock work on your behalf to get money back from select past bills. To date, HealthLock has helped its members save over $130 million. To save, visit healthlock.com today.
Had enough of those supplements that leave you feeling nothing? Symbiotica is your solution to great-tasting, all-natural supplements that actually work. Crafted with premium plant-based ingredients, their products have no seed oils, fillers, or artificial nonsense. It's just pure goodness in every pouch. Try them out and actually feel the difference today. Visit Symbiotica.com and use code IHEART for 15% off plus free shipping on your subscription order. Again, that's 15% off plus free shipping on your subscription order. Go to Symbiotica.com. That's Cymbiotika.com.
Picasso knows your vacation home is your best home. It's the place that brings family and friends together. It's where you're the best version of yourself. Picasso makes it easy to co-own a luxury vacation home in amazing locations. Listings start at $200K for 1/8 ownership. Picasso does all the work for you. Luxury furnishings, maintenance, billing, scheduling, and more. And you can resell on Picasso's marketplace anytime, historically for a 10% gain. Visit Picasso to see thousands of listings. That's PACASO.com.
Episode 413, How Megan Paid Off $20,000 of Debt in 6 months.
Welcome to the Frugal Friends podcast, where you'll learn to save money, embrace simplicity, and live a richer life. Here are your hosts, Jen and Jill.
Welcome to the Frugal Friends podcast, and welcome to Debt-Free Summer.
Oh, it's a debt-free story and a debt-free summer.
This begins our Debt-Free Summer series. If you are trying to pay off debt, or if you are inspired by debt-free stories, you are going to want to tune in every week this summer because we have 10 for you. These are interviews that originally aired on our YouTube channel about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, and we are replaying them on the podcast with updates from our Debt-Free Stories participants and some additional insight to ponder on if you are looking to become debt-free yourself.
I love a good before and after. And here we are highlighting an after story of a debt payoff, and then getting another after from them, which is even better. And also, definitely listen to this episode, but if you want to get a glimpse of the video of it, it could be worth it to see what our backdrop used to look like. We had these streamers. What do you call them? Shiny hot pink.
I was pregnant, so I don't know. Yeah.
You were sitting so far away from the mic because you couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
So if Jen sounds breathy, that's why.
Just to see what was going on in our lives at that period of time. I
was so deep into renovations, which is why we were at your place, because there wasn't ananywhere to sit in our house.
And then we moved it over here when there wasn't anywhere to sit in my house.
But that's not what you came to this episode
for.
No. You wanted to learn how Megan, who, spoiler alert, is an average income earning teacher at the time.
But not an average person.
No.
She is exemplary.
No. And so she shared some really helpful, implementable tips on the ways that she cut expenses and found creative ways to save. Again, as a teacher, paying off $20,000 of debt in 6 months. We're really excited to share her story with you.
But first, this episode is brought to you by Counting to 100. I recently learned that Kai was one of only 4 students in his class that could count to 100.
Oh, wow.
And he is
because mom loves money.
Because mom loves money.
We don't deal with money less than 100 tuts.
Yep. I lost it. I don't have anything written down for this one. I was really riffing, and now I've lost where I was going. If you don't want to lose where you're going, then sign up for the Friendletter. We send it out 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We've got tips for where to find free food, tips on how to save money where it really counts in the high impact areas, not those $3 decisions, and then also help on your values-based spending journey. That's at frugalfriendspodcast.com. Don't lose your way like I did.
When I
so
so rudely interrupted you.
So we have 9 more of these episodes coming up after today. They're going to be coming out once a week. I believe this is airing on, I believe they're Fridays that they are airing. Yes, every Friday through June and July, we are airing these episodes. So we are going to be talking all about debt freedom this summer because we think it's important. It's not the end all be all, but when you can pay off your debt, it is a huge weight lifted. And we also want to encourage you to call in with your bill of the weeks if you have paid off debt and you have not been able to celebrate it, like calling in to celebrate it on any podcasts, for instance, because you don't meet any like a certain criteria. We are a safe space for you to do that. We want you to call into the bill of the week line and celebrate with us. So if you like debt payoff stories, check out episode 405, which is actually my debt payoff journey, how I paid off $78,000 of debt in 2 years with my husband. And then episode 295, what to do if you have more debt than you make in a year. But let's get into Megan's story. She's sharing the mindset shifts and strategies she used to pay off $20,000 of debt as a teacher with tips on cutting expenses and creative ways to save.
Let's do it. We've got an amazing guest and fellow Frugal Friends podcast listener, Megan. Megan, welcome. We're so glad to have you.
Awesome. I'm so excited too. I tell everyone that I meet, like all of my debt payoff tips now. And you have to listen to the Frugal Friends. They'll help you. So I'm so excited to finally share it. Yeah.
We are so honored to be a part of like the tips that you share with everyone. Listen to the Frugal Friends podcast and just a small part of the journey that we've been. Thank you so much. And back to you. Tell us about yourself. Where are you from? What's your life situation? Just lay the groundwork for us.
Let us get to know you. Right. Well, I live in South Florida and I teach 3rd grade. This is my 21st year in the classroom. So part of my debt payoff was why have I been teaching for 20 years or 18 at the time? And I'm still paycheck to paycheck. Like, where is my money going? Because it's happening, it's coming in. So the teacher's salary, I think plays into this, story as well. And yeah, I love things that have to do with frugality, simplicity, and, less consumerism, creating less waste. And it all kind of ties together.
That's awesome. So was there any like epiphany or like event that happened that kind of led you to the realization that after 18 years of teaching, you're living paycheck to paycheck?
Yes. So I did go through a divorce during that time. And, there's seasons of life that change. And I knew at that point, things needed to go on a credit card and all of that. But it was the end of 2018. And I had joined a step bet where you pay into a group and then they give you a certain number of steps each day. And as long as you make your step goal, you get that money back plus a portion of the pot. And a friend of mine was over. She was like, maybe it was her 2nd year teaching. She worked with me. And she was like, I was like, I have to get my steps, but I'm not going to. It's just $40. And she was like, no, get up. We're going. It's $40. And so I was like, all right, well, she's going to take me along. Let's go. And we walked through the neighborhood and she started not teaching me, but she started talking about this FIRE concept that she had learned about. And again, 2nd year of teaching. And she was taking on another job waitressing so that she could retire early. And I was like, that's incredible. And it just started to like click in my head. She's so young and she's doing this now. Where would I be if I had done something similar? And so that was like December, I think. And January, I was like, this is it. This is my goal. 2019, I am paying off my debt. And I told myself I could do it in a year, but I'm really competitive. And I ended up doing it in 6 months because I am really competitive. So yeah. So that's where it started. It started
That's
there.
so powerful
Yeah.
to hear. And I think highlights how important community is. I think we've experienced that. We hear it from our listeners all the time. And similar for you, not only with physical exercise and other types of goals that we might be having in life, but also with financial goals, just to hear what else might be possible, to have others inspire and motivate us. It's such a powerful part of what got you started on this journey.
Yeah. You know, I called her a lot in the beginning, and I would ask her, like, what does this mean? And she would explain it to me. Or she would refer me to like Nerd Wallet, and I'd look it up myself. And you know, I was learning it, but it was just that inspiration. So from there, I just decided I'm a paper and pencil girl, and I know my strengths as a teacher. So I needed to gamify everything because I'm competitive, and I needed to be creative. So I just got a binder. I didn't want to buy a planner because that was part of my problem was I need this, I should buy it. So I got a binder and I filled it with regular loose leaf paper, and I put plain paper for each month. And I just said, just track where your money's going. I would highlight and then like categories. I needed to see where that was. That was like 2 months of trying to cut down spending and see where my money was going. I knew that, you know, my career is not the type where you can go in and say, I've been rated highly effective for 6 years in a row. I'd like a raise. Like, it doesn't work that way. And I'm not at a spot where I was comfortable taking on a second job. So I figured out, okay, if I can't make more money, I either need to stop spending it or like get better discounts, like save more on what I am buying. And I think it was a combination of that. You know, I did the typical, I cut expenses. I didn't need to go get my nails done. I could do it myself. You know, we like to go to concerts and things like that. We don't have to go to all of them. Like, we can pick our favorites. A huge thing was your pantry challenge episodes and websites, or even on Alexa, you can ask her, Alexa, ask Save the Food if my celery is good. And she'll give you tips on the quality and like what's wrong with it, how to revive it. Is it still okay? So we cut down our food waste. We started getting really creative. I've always been a leftover for lunch person, but we got really creative with turning a leftover into something brand new. You know, oh, don't save the end of the onion, put it in the bag in the freezer because I'm going to make stock out of it in a week. So, you know, we did all of these little things like that to cut expenses in groceries. I stopped buying paper napkins. I know that's like little. I took on any tutoring job that I could. I cashed in all my coins, you know, all the coins that are sitting in the closet. I took more of an inventory of my like bathroom toiletries. I don't need to get another shampoo. I have 2 under the sink. This is a good price, but I don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
And once I started to make little extra payments with that money coming in, it was like, it just went from there. It was like, keep going. What else can I cut? I said gamifying, like you guys always recommend. I would make like a goal for the month. And it was like I think January was like 10 days where I didn't spend anything. Mm-hmm. So then in February, it was like just one more. So all I had to do was just one more day than the month before. Now I tried for so many, but it wasn't like I felt any kind of failure. It was like, okay, you did it. Can you do it again, but +1? You know, just like I said, the things that I would do with the kids to motivate them, like I had to do that for myself.
That's amazing. It's so crazy. Like, when you have this singular focus goal, it wakes you up to things that you could be doing that you kind of maybe always knew, but never had a reason or motivation to do. And there's so many opportunities just lying around that once you have this singular focus goal, you now have the motivation to actually take advantage of them.
Right. When it's connected to something greater, like the debt payoff, is a reason to kind of just get a few percentage points better in all of these areas. Not one of them is going to make you rich and wealthy, but that shift in mindset and thinking about how you're cooking that week or setting something aside to make chicken stock. And it becomes exciting and fun when it's connected to something more important, a goal you're trying to attain.
Now that I have kids, I'm hyper aware of the information I put online. But unfortunately, there's only so much I can do. Our personal information is everywhere on the internet, and I don't have time to monitor and take it off every website. That's why I personally use Delete Me.
Delete Me is a service that finds and removes any personal information from hundreds of data broker websites and makes sure it stays off. Delete Me isn't just a one-time service, it's always working for you, constantly monitoring and removing the personal information you don't want on the internet.
I signed up, completed a questionnaire, and they took it from there, submitting opt-out requests to data broker sites and keeping my personal info private.
To take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me. Now, at a special discount for our listeners, today get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/frugal and use promo code FRUGAL at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/frugal and enter code FRUGAL at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/frugal, code FRUGAL.
When it comes to ensuring your company has top-notch security practices, things can get complicated fast. Vanta automates compliance for SOC 2, ISO 27001, and more, saving you time and money. With Vanta, you can streamline security reviews by automating questionnaires and demonstrating your security posture with a customer-facing trust center. Over 7,000 global companies like Atlassian, Flow Health, and Quora use Vanta to build trust and prove security in real time. Listeners can claim a special offer of $1,000 off Vanta at vanta.com/special. That's VANTA.com/special for $1,000 off Vanta.
AI might be the most important new computer technology ever. It's storming every industry, and literally billions of dollars are being invested. So buckle up. The problem is that AI needs a lot of speed and processing power. So how do you compete without costs spiraling out of control? It's time to upgrade to the next generation of the cloud, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. OCI is a single platform for your infrastructure, database, application development, and AI needs. OCI has 4 to 8 times the bandwidth of other clouds, offers one consistent price instead of variable regional pricing, and of course, nobody does data better than Oracle. So now you can train your AI models at twice the speed and less than half the cost of other clouds. If you want to do more and spend less like Uber, 8x8, and Databricks Mosaic, take a free test drive of OCI at oracle.com/strategic. That's oracle.com/strategic. Oracle.com/strategic.
I had to completely tell myself, you're not allowed in Target anymore. You can't go to Target because, so during my divorce, that was an activity. Go to Target and go up and down the aisles, or go to TJ Maxx and look what they have. But when I started selling those same things on Facebook Marketplace because I needed to figure out a way to make money, that's pretty telling when you're like, I spent $25 on this and I'll take $5 just to have the $5 back. That is something that changes the way you shop also.
Absolutely. So let's hear a little bit more about the debt. How much was it? How long did it take you to pay off? Give us some more of those details.
It was around $19,000, and it was my car and the rest of my student loans. And like I said, 20 years, or it was like 18 years at the time of teaching, and I still was paying student loans because when the bill came, it was you pay the minimum because then I need the other money to go and, live life or shop. But that's not the case. You can live life and you can do these other things by putting more money, because then you have that freedom and you don't feel the stress of, I'm going to go to the mailbox and there's going to be a bill in there. It's just gone. It's incredible.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And 6 months down from how long did you think it would take you?
I told myself I could do it in a year. Actually, I told my mom, I said, mark my words, a year from now, this will be gone. And because I just kept hustling. No, at that point I had moved in with my now husband. So the life situation had changed. And I know that that's important. I wasn't paying a mortgage payment at that time, but I hadn't been paying a mortgage payment either. So, you know what I mean? Yeah.
So, wow, $19,000 in 6 months. When you thought it was going to take you a year and you had life changes happening in the midst of that, some beneficial, some probably not so beneficial. Either way,
Right.
it's quite an incredible payoff in just 6 months. In that debt payoff, were there any kind of lump sums that you utilized to pay that off? Did you sell anything large? Did you use savings? Any kind of big tackling that you implemented?
I mean, I did go through like some of my jewelry that I didn't wear and I sold back the gold, but we're talking like $100 here and there. There wasn't really anything that was a lump sum. I remembered the other thing. One of the tricks, we live next to a more wealthy, more affluent neighborhood, and their bulk trash night is Sunday. So I would take a drive around the lake on Sunday and see things that were easily sold on Facebook Marketplace and clean them up. And I mean, like with a rag, not like anything major, clean them off and post them for like $10 just for something. And I did like keep track of this. I put it all into a free Google Sheet when I did it. I did it from paper and then the nerd went to the Google Sheets, but I wrote it in $769 worth in a year of stuff that I sold on Facebook Marketplace that I either had in my house or picked up for free. And it was like $5 and $10 items. So my grandmother was a gambler and she used to say, a successful gambler, if that's a thing. And she used to say, any money is good money, even if it's not much money. And that's how I felt about that. Yes, I was giving this thing away for $5 and I paid more, but it's $5 more than I have now. And when that number started to grow on my spreadsheet, I was like, this is incredible. This could be my summer gig. I could just find things that people don't want and flip them. It's not my summer gig, but it's another way where I couldn't make more at my current job. So how else can I bring in money? And that was just another way.
That's amazing. Yeah.
So creative.
Yeah. So how much were you earning from your actual job? I assume since it was 6 months, it was the same.
It was the same salary each. Yeah. Yeah.
And how much was it?
Around 50,000.
Yeah. So you're a teacher. It's not like you're making massive amounts of income able to pay off this debt in a super short amount of time.
Yeah. You're making a really standard income and paying off this big debt in a really short amount of time. That's super cool.
It was definitely cutting expenses and, thinking like, well, we already don't pay that much. Well, I'm spending money on contacts every year and I have glasses. So if I wore my glasses like half the time, my contacts now last for 2 years. It was just being more aware. You fall into this trap of like, it's $3 at Starbucks and it's the dollar spot item and it's $10 over here or something at work. I had to be very honest with coworkers. I'm not in a time right now where I can pitch in money for gifts. I will wrap the gift. I will make a card. I will do a plant. I'll wrap, you know what I mean? Like I can participate in other ways. I could bake something, but I can't give you the $10 that you need for the next gift. And they respected that. It was not harsh. You just have to be upfront and people understand that because everybody wants to save their money. You just have to stand up for yourself and say, I can't give this to you right now.
Wow. Yeah. That boundaries and self-restraint to be able to say no to people you love or like or see frequently, that is a lesson that is a byproduct of paying off debt that will transcend your bank account. There's so many lessons that we take for granted on this journey. We think it's just about getting to net zero or getting to see a number on a screen. But it is so much more about the lessons you pick up on the journey. And that's one that I have learned and I keep, and I think, and will serve you for like far beyond what debt freedom will do to your bank account.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Thank you. Thank you.
So what's coming up next now that you've paid off this debt? What's your next financial goal on the horizon?
We would like to pay off our mortgage. But right now that rate is steady. We we are in need of new windows and slider doors. So we did get a company to come, and they're coming in. We are putting our money into a high yield. I split now that I get to keep the money, most of the money coming in. I split my paycheck. I did a direct deposit into my regular credit union and to a high yield savings. I do have the card for that one, but we're not pulling from it because now it's at 3.25, and we're putting half of every paycheck goes into that, and that's to pay for the windows. So they're going to do the windows, I believe, like February or March, and we know because we've done it, we can have that money in ready. So when the windows are done, they say, here's your first payment. We can say, no, here's all of it. So that's our current goal. Yeah. And it's still a reminder. It's still practice. We have stickies on the bathroom mirror with the amounts. We cross it out and we write the new amount so that we see it every day, which we thought might cause anxiety, but actually is very motivating for us. We get excited about, we should get the family together and like get a cabin somewhere. And we're like, after the windows are done, that's the next thing we save for.
Wow, that is amazing how you're thinking ahead and stashing money aside. How do you think you would have felt about the need for new windows had you not paid off debt? How would that have gone?
When he first showed us the amount, after discounts, which there was a teacher discount too, because it never hurts to ask. It was still the same feeling of, where do you get that money from? You don't just like pull it out of the air. And then it was just maybe like an hour or two of us like stomaching that giant number and going, wait, we can do this. Like, we've done it. There's proof we've done it. We can do it again, and I've got my husband on board. Like I said, I was nervous that seeing the money amount each day would give him anxiety as well, but he saw me work so hard and really change how I am as a consumer. So he's on board, and it's fun. Now it becomes this thing that how much did you get to put in today? Oh, me too. Okay, cool. But I don't think that I would have had that hope. It would have just been in this state of dread. Like, oh, great. Here's another thing. How do I pay for that? I'm still paying off this, like the negative snowball instead of a positive snowball.
Wow. A negative snowball instead of a positive one. That's a really good way to look at it. It does. Debt freedom really does create, it eliminates those negative snowballs that we very much create for ourselves. So I want to know, what would you say to somebody who is where you were when you had this epiphany that you had been working 18 years and still living paycheck to paycheck? Or maybe it's not even that severe, but they have this desire to be where you are now, and they're an average income earner who, doesn't have time for a side hustle. They don't think it's possible. What would you say to them?
I would definitely tell them that even though they think they're not spending as much and they have cut expenses, there are things to still be cut. There are expenses that you still have. Sometimes it takes someone else to look at it too. I've offered for a friend of mine, like, if you want to do that and write it down for a month, I will come over and highlight for you and help you like sort them out to categories. I would say that you have to know where it's going, and there are things you can cut. And I would also tell them that the hint of using cash envelopes, having that cash in your hand and knowing that you're about to give it to someone else makes you stop and think. Thinking about that, marketing company sitting around their office table, like laughing, like, haha, she fell for our marketing. Let's go. We're taking her money. It just makes you think. So I would say, write it down or use an app or somehow really, and be honest with yourself. Just do it for a month. Be honest with yourself. Write it down. See where your money is going. See what you can cut. And try to use cash because it's so helpful. It's so concrete.
Those are some great tips, and you're a fantastic friend to have.
Yeah, right?
Willing to go, oh, here's how you can do this, and let me help you. That's amazing.
Glad to have you as a frugal friend.
Yes. Well, we are now at that time for some fun celebration. And you know us, we like to keep it loosey-goosey and really whatever's going to benefit you, similar to how your debt-free journey is not the same as everyone else's. Probably the way you want to celebrate is not the same as everyone else. So this is your time. How do you want to celebrate this debt payoff of almost $20,000 in 6 months?
All right. I'm going to do one that we do in the classroom when someone has like a fantastic response to something and we want to like acknowledge like that's what we're looking for. We just do like a go me.
Go Megan! Yay!
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Oh, Megan, thank you so much for sharing your debt payoff story. I know that there are so many people in a similar situation that are going to find this really inspirational and really take to heart the tips, all the good tips that you shared.
Well done, and inspiration for anyone watching to set a goal and then cut it in half. Sometimes we double it. Either way, we can do it.
Yeah.
If there's anything that we can take away from Megan or other people's stories, it's the ability to do this thing, to pay it off, take the small steps, find friends and community around you to do it.
Yeah.
And just, you can do it. It doesn't feel like it, but it feels so much better when that's gone. There's ways, like I said, I felt really trapped in the financial side of, you hear people say like, well, ask for a raise or it's time for a raise. Well, there's not much I could do besides taking on a second job, and tutoring was an okay thing, but I didn't want to learn a new skill or learn a cash register. I'm already exhausted from this job. So, finding ways. Yeah. And like I said, you two have been so helpful. Every time I listened to the podcast during the debt payoff, I would get this feeling of like, I'm doing it right. I'm doing it. Look how encouraging, because you always felt like friends that I was like listening in on. And it was like, yep, I'm doing that. I'm doing it right. I'm doing a good job. And it was like providing me the feedback I needed to keep going. Yeah. There were other podcasts that offered kind of like tough love. And I'd listen to those when I was driving because it kept me from stopping at a store. There were some I would listen to when I was out like taking a walk. And those were more like motivating for the future. And yours was like reassuring and new ideas. So thank you so much for doing this, because you're reaching so many people and you're giving them a better financial life.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
So many hearts.
Yeah.
So many.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you so much, Megan. We're always honored to just play us like small part in people's journeys. But like, it was you who did all the heavy lifting.
Mm-hmm. You did it. You did it, Megan. Congratulations.
Can we do one more?
Go, Megan!
Yes. I love that.
Oh, that's so great. All the different ways of celebrating.
I'm so glad that we got to hear that one again. I loved her shift, her realization from like going to, oh, it's just $40, like, and to somebody who's like, no, that's money. Like I don't know, the sunk cost fallacy. Like, we hate losing $40, but if we've already parted with it, then it's already gone and we don't feel it as harshly. And marketers will prey on that sort of thing, like by having people prepay. It's like that girl math thing. If I've already prepaid, then when I do it, it's free. Or when I don't fulfill my commitment, then I'm not really losing anything because I lost it a while ago. So to come to that realization and be like, no, your money is your money, whether it was then or now, and just having that like mindset shift.
I really resonate with the gamifying debt payoff. That was what worked for me and Eric. It was also true too, whenever I could have any level of a chunk of money to throw towards it, not just every month I'm going to put this amount, but wherever I could find it, however I could be creative in getting it. That was what worked for us as well. So it's cool to hear her story and resonate with her.
Yes. And she has an update for us. The update is that because of the shift values-based spending played in my life, this is Megan talking, Post debt payoff, I was able to save an emergency fund that was right for me and leave teaching.
What?
I am still debt free, but that decision and hustle to make it happen allowed the freedom for me to change careers and change my happiness.
Wow.
That is so, like, when we talk about fulfilling work, so like the things that you value most are the things money can't buy: family, friends, faith, fulfilling work. A lot of the times it doesn't mean you have to decrease your income. What that means is that you are making the financial decisions that get you closer to work that you love. Whether that is an increase or decrease in income, we don't think that you have to live in poverty to be frugal. And we don't have to think you have to be super rich to be financially independent or financially secure. That richness comes from the freedom to decide. And Megan, because one of the big reasons she was able to decide was she didn't have to worry about debt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. For some, they want a career out of teaching long term.
Mm-hmm.
And for others, it's a great career for a time, but to be able to have the flexibility to shift is sometimes something that your chosen career path won't allow, unless you are really intentional about it and can give yourself some of the freedom like debt freedom can do for you. So I'm so thrilled to hear that update. I also like how she referenced in her update about an emergency fund that's right for her, because we do talk so often about what's the right amount of money. And it is so true that it depends. Some people want to save have their medical deductible set aside. Others want 3 months worth of living expenses. Others want 6. And what living expenses mean to you is drastically different. And what are you going to want to be paying for or not paying for if you are out of work? So it's cool to see that even that has resonated with her, that she's found what works for her, was able to leave a job. So many crazy things have happened in the last 2 years. And I'm so thrilled to be here for it.
You know what hasn't changed in the past 2 years?
Or 6 years.
It hasn't changed in the past 6 years.
All.
Every episode without fail, even when we had to call our friends in the early days and get them to participate because we didn't have enough.
The bill of the week.
That's right. It's time for the best minute of your entire week. Maybe a baby was born and his name is William. Maybe you paid off your mortgage. Maybe your car died and you're happy to not have to pay that bill anymore. Duck bills, Buffalo Bills, Bill Clinton. This is the bill of the week.
Hi, Jen and Joe. I want to say my bill of the week and several months is you. Because of you, I started to realize how much I spent every month, started to eat at home more, which my body loves it. I called the car insurance to lower the rate. I found that our state could help with the health insurance. I read more about the Roth IRA and opened up a savings account for the future. Thank you so much for everything you do. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Stop it!
We can't even respond.
It's us.
We are a bill.
Oh my gosh.
We're the bill. Hi,
there are
Bill.
so many things to unpack on this. Like, you're eating at home more and your body loves it.
That's
yes.
so cool.
We could minimize so much talk about the diet culture, the fitness industry, the healthy food industry if we just talk more about eating at home, regardless of the food that it is. Just that it's eaten at home is 10 times healthier. Mm-hmm. You called your car insurance and got that rate lowered.
You opened a Roth IRA,
opened a savings
in
account,
your future.
Learning
you got
about
better
Roth.
health insurance.
Yes.
You've put in the work. I'm so glad that we're your bill.
My heart
However, you put in the work.
beating so hard. I am so happy.
We've had a wild day so far, and this is just putting us both over the tops. Our eyes are wet. We have wet eyes.
Yeah, it could. I mean, it is. I'm just gonna throw like out. It's also that time of the month for me, but like also I am. My eyes are moist. I'm so sorry.
This is beautiful. It's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing your bill with us. We're so glad to be a part of the journey and to be a help and a support. If you all are listening, and if we're none of those things to you, but you just have a bill to share, that'd be great. We'd love to hear it. frugalfriendspodcast.com/bill. Leave it for us. Make us cry.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Are you tired of your scented cleaning products smelling and cleaning like meh? Then it's time for an upgrade with the power of Clorox Scentiva. With an uplifting scent that smells like coconut, Clorox Scentiva gives you powerful clean like Clorox, but a feeling like being transported to a tropical island retreat. Imagine putting your phone on Do Not Disturb, tuning out all the constant, just the feeling of warm sand in between your toes and a fruity drink in your hand. The ones with the little umbrella. Refresh your home to feel like an all-inclusive vacation by getting Clorox Scentiva. Also available in grapefruit and lavender scents at a nearby retail store.
When the sun goes down, opt for bold and blingy styles, like the made-to-be-seen, very sexy push-up bra from the Very Sexy collection. In on-trend hues like black shine, green, and citron. For a glam statement, pair them with your favorite jeans and bring the heat. Because life is better in a bikini. Rewind to the future with the VS Archive swim collection, inspired by Victoria's Secret's classic looks from the 90s and early 2000s. For endless out-of-office options, mix and match with Victoria's Secret's wide range of bikini tops and bottoms that offer you every type of coverage, from full to cheeky to minimal. Now in this season's must-have shades and patterns. Add the finishing touch with the limited edition Bombshell Escape fragrance, a free-spirited take on the iconic Victoria's Secret scent. Dive into a vibrant blend of juicy guava, lush palms, and summer glow peony. Shop now at your closest Victoria's Secret store or online at victoriassecret.com.
And now it's time for the lightning round. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, I haven't read this.
I'm still
question
recovering.
Yet. I know.
I'm still recovering.
That bill was. We're going to have to put that on replay for ourselves.
It is like some days it's tough. Like we split a salary. Like Jill and I make half of a salary doing this job. And
so clearly we're not that good at it.
I guess maybe that's what that means. But
this is the vulnerability round where we say we're not that good at our jobs.
We're really good at our jobs. We're not like good at like getting people to give us money. But that, I mean, it's every time we hear stuff like that where it's like, that's awesome. Because it's, thank God we know how to values-based spend. Yeah. And it doesn't feel like deprivation to share a salary.
I would rather be sitting here with you with these hot pink pop filters. That's not what they're called. Windscreens.
We called them pop filters for a long time.
Eric let us call them that.
Eric,
and finally
Eric's
he was
fault,
like,
honestly.
I need to correct you
it's
too.
His fault because we looked like losers in the podcast community calling them pop filters.
None of them know. Nobody in the podcasting community knows audio.
Nobody corrected us.
Okay.
Anyways.
What's the most creative thing you've done, Jen, to lower your expenses?
I would like to call back, and only because we just recently talked about this. I don't know if I was with you or somebody else. Oh, well, I think it was with someone else, but you had a similar story that Travis once spent 6 hours on the phone with T-Mobile to get like 2 free iPhones and to lower our bill. And for the amount, iPhones alone, that's worth 6 hours of work. So it was time well spent, but it was also, I think maybe I think it was the craziest thing we've ever done to lower our expenses.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you have to be willing to put in time in order to get back some version of a monetary value or money savings. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the most obvious one for me is living in an RV and house sitting. I think hacking housing has been the biggest impact and some of the most creative, I guess. But I also will do just random creative stuff. I can't even keep track, but this is making me think our background right now. So again, referencing our YouTube video, we were at Jen's place and we put up a little studio at the time to film those videos. But now our studio is at my house, Jill's house, and we put our backdrop on this, like, we have a neon sign, which that was a good investment.
Oh, yeah.
But when building out the studio, we wanted to save as much money as possible. So the sound panels that we have, so if you've watched us or seen us on Instagram or anything recently, you'll see like our updated studio. Eric and I got fabric on clearance.
Was this velvet?
Yeah.
What is this? Velvet?
What is it? Is it real velvet?
Velvet?
I don't think it's real velvet, but it's
gorgeous.
It feels really nice.
Feels so nice.
And Eric built them out and we did that together. I think you were still on maternity leave, but the round piece that our Frugal Friends neon sign is on now is our old coffee table.
I'm just now realizing this.
Have I not told you that before?
No, I mean, I know you made it, but like I didn't realize what the circle was.
So we had gotten a new couch at like a discount place where I negotiated for cash in the warehouse in the back room.
I just didn't know where it went.
And we didn't have room for the coffee table anymore. And plus the new couch was like a recliner, so we didn't even really need a coffee table. But I was like, that could be the background. I'd love to have a circular background. And by the way, that coffee table was made by us. We had gotten it on clearance at like Lowe's or Home Depot because it was fractured and like, I don't know, there was parts of it missing.
I'm
somehow.
also fractured.
Yeah.
And on discount.
And then I had like stained it and I found legs at a yard sale that we put on it and it was our coffee table for years. And then now we took the legs off. I actually sold the legs because they were like mid-century legs on Facebook Marketplace for like $20. And then we made the backdrop for the neon sign out of our old coffee table.
Yes.
And
I had in my mind, you still had a coffee table. It's been so long that
this is the coffee. The coffee table's on the wall now.
Yeah.
And the smushy stuff on it is from an old bed. What do they call those? Mattress pad. It was a mattress pad that I had for forever that I didn't like anymore, but I didn't want to get rid of it. So I cut up the mattress pad to use as sound deadening.
I guess I was nurturing a newborn when this all happened.
Yeah.
So that's why I missed a lot of things.
No, it's totally fine.
I missed all of 2019.
Yeah.
I'm lucky
we spent
I
like no money to build out this little Frugal Friend studio.
And it's beautiful.
We repurposed things. Yeah.
That makes
so there you go. There's some creativity
That makes
for
me
you.
remember also Travis last night came home with 6 trash bags full of used toys that he bought for $20.
No, Travis.
Yeah, but
no one needs 6 trash bags of toys.
But for Kai's birthday is in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And
so you're digging through and finding the best things.
Yes. And that's what we're going to give him for his birthday.
What are you going to do with the rest of the 6.5 bags of toys?
6.5 bags. So some of them we're going to save for Christmas.
Okay, cool.
And then some of it we're going to maybe like just post for free on Facebook Marketplace.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
But it's
not?
$20. Like, you can't get 2 Lego sets for $20. So
are there Legos in there?
I don't know if there's Legos, but there's definitely Mario, Paw Patrol, Ryan's World. There's some things for the baby.
I mean, if I ever had kids, I feel like yard sales, Facebook Marketplace
is
all I'd ever do.
Gold.
Yeah.
Because all they want is new stuff. They don't realize that it's not like brand new. Like they just want it new to them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, kids are dumb. I'm unhinged.
Thanks for listening.
Leave us your review. No, truly, thanks for listening. And we do love your kind reviews. And most of your children are very, very smart, just like you.
Most of your children.
We love especially this review from Ari1188 said, amazingly fun and informative. 5 stars. This podcast is a treasure trove of information and insights on so many aspects of living frugally, and it's delivered in a very fun and engaging way. Jen and Jill are great to listen to and speak about the topics in a relatable and inclusive way, which is always refreshing. This is one of my favorite podcasts. Ari,
yay!
That's amazing.
Thank you, Ari.
I also want to give a little call to action here because we are so close to reaching 1,000 reviews.
We're so close to 1,000
So that's
reviews.
a benchmark on Apple Podcasts is 1,000 reviews. Obviously, we'd love more than that. I'm shocked we don't have that many yet. We've been at this for 6 years, but again, we're not that great at our jobs.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for a call to action, something to do instead of spend money on your debt payoff journey, please leave us a kind review.
Yeah.
It would
Here's
be
some
so
ideas for titles. Not good at their jobs.
5 stars.
5 stars. They never asked me to buy their online course.
5 stars.
5 stars. The Taco Bell of podcasts, that one's already been used, but it's way back in the archive, so it could use a refresh. I heard a reel the other day that said Taco Bell is like a thrift store. They just keep reusing the same products over and over and like reinventing them. So like that could be part of your review. Or your favorite fast food restaurant. Carrabba's, the Carrabba's of podcasts would also accept.
The hot dog of podcasts.
Yes, hot dogs. Any of those.
Mm-hmm. Gum. It's like chewing gum all day. You never get bored.
So proud of Jill for as much as she loves chewing gum, she never chews gum while recording.
My kids are smarter than your kids. 5 stars.
5 stars. Yes, you can definitely say that about my children. So any of those ideas, those are just some things to jog your creativity, but go wild. And 5 stars. Thank you. See you next time. Frugal Friends is produced by Eric Siriani.
We're going to get ourselves the opposite of good reviews with how unhinged
I mean, I
am.
love seeing like 5-star reviews that just like, but I don't know. I don't want negative reviews left, even if they are 5 stars, but just like satirical reviews.
Yeah.
Because you know it's the host that was like in on it with them. Like, you know, there's an inside joke.
Yeah. What bums me out the most is when you know someone meant to leave 5 stars because the review is glowing.
Oh my gosh,
but they accidentally pressed 1 star, and that hurts us more.
That hurts.
Than the other version. Like, leave us 5 stars and then say what you want to say about it.
Throw us under the bus. Like, it's fine as long as
just leave us
5 stars.
Let us keep doing this job that we both make half an income doing.
That we love doing. And if you know how to make money, then come at us. We'd also love to know that.
That's way too unhinged.
Okay.
You never want to find yourself out on the water fishing without the essentials. So it's best to always pack a Columbia PFG Solar Stream Elite hoodie to protect against the sun. I mean, it provides great protection, and it's really breathable so you don't get hot. That's a win-win. Columbia PFG has a lot of great gear. So before you head out on the water, head over to Columbia.com/PFG to shop their performance fishing gear.
Let me run this by my lawyer is a really helpful phrase to have in your back pocket. Legal Shield has been giving legal peace of mind for over 50 years. They connect you to a vetted law firm in your state for an affordable monthly fee. Want an experienced set of eyes on a contract's fine print? Or you finally want to get that will done? Legal Shield has a dedicated group of lawyers who have your back, no matter what the future brings. Sign up today at LegalShield.com/iHeart. PPLSI does not provide legal representation or advice. See a plan for complete terms.
There are some things that are too good to keep a secret. Like how your Amex Platinum card helps you have the perfect trip. I'd like to check into the Centurion Lounge. Or how it seems like you always get those hard-to-snag tables. Ooh, yum. And how you get the most out of select can't-miss events. With access to the Centurion Lounge, Resi Priority Notified, and Amex card member benefits at select events, you'll have to share. That's the powerful backing of American Express. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/withAmex.